In the traditional model of education, students went to school, were taught material, and then were tested by demonstrating they had memorized what they had been taught. It was a very teacher-centered system designed for the industrial age. Times have changed, jobs have changed, and so have the skill sets required after graduation. It's what students can do with what they learned in school that is highly valued. Teachers don't just teach concepts, they facilitate learning experiences and co-construct learning with their learners. So what do learners think is important? Assessments. All through high school, they've been conditioned to pass the exam, and they've learned to be strategic. Most learners will do what they need to do to pass the course. And often, that's all they'll do. Period. To illustrate this, let's look at one example. A lecturer wants his learners to be able to think critically about his subject, but tests them with a multiple choice exam that only requires them to memorize definitions. Guess what students will do? They'll memorize definitions, and they'll pass. Will they be able to think critically to the lecturer's satisfaction? Maybe, maybe not. It probably won't matter to the learners because they won't need to be good critical thinkers to pass the test. But despite the celebrations, it's a short-term victory, for they may not be acquiring the 21st century skills they need. The problem is that this lecturer's assessment task is not aligned to his desired outcomes for the students. So what do we do to get students practicing the skills we want them to have? We decide the outcomes we want, create tasks to build towards those outcomes, then test students with assessments that have been designed based on those outcomes. That's constructive alignment. It's all about outcomes, assessment tasks, and learning activities being aligned. We'll discuss this in more detail in the next section.